Today, let's take a look at some of the scariest urban legends from around the world. From the Russian corpse collector to Tokyo's haunted mansion. We're going to be talking about this and more only in today's video. Starting off this countdown, we have the Russian corpse collector. Legend has it that a mysterious, deadly person roams around Russia. This person is out stalking people to kidnap. After successfully kidnapping them, he will kill them, preserve them, and then put their mummified bodies on display. As a result, people in Russia were scared to roam the streets at night alone with fear that they would run into the corpse collector. Now, what's even more terrifying is that in 2011, this urban legend came to life. A man named Anatoly Moskvin was arrested for grave robbing. He would dig up bodies of females, mummify them, and then dress them up and display them in his own home. The humans were found seated on shelves, sofas, or chairs all throughout his house. Apparently, their faces and limbs were covered with cloth, so you couldn't tell that they were composed of real humans. In fact, his home was shared with his parents, and they were completely oblivious. They just thought the corpses were large dolls that he would collect. I don't know if he was inspired by the corpse collector legend or what. Next up, we have the Crown Casino Morgue from Australia. The Crown Casino is the largest casino in Australia. However, it's said that there is a morgue underneath the casino. According to the legend, a lot of people take their lives at this casino. Enough so that they needed to create a whole morgue to be able to store all the bodies of the people that die there. So having the morgue underneath the casino is a way for them to conceal the high mortality rates that they face. It's also said that they have workers that are trained to specifically deal with the dead bodies. They carry them discreetly off the premise through a secret passageway. There's even a related theory saying that the Yarra River close by is brown because that's where they keep dumping all the bodies into. Although the Crown Casino has denied all these accusations, it's still a creepy legend that some believe to be true. At number 8, we have Tominos Hell. This is a famous urban legend from Tokyo. Tominos Hell is the name of a poem written by Sayo Yaso, and apparently it's a very, very cursed poem. Legend goes that whoever reads this poem out loud will suffer from misfortune or death. Consequences range from feeling sick or ill to injuring yourself to even death. Now, what is this poem about? Well, I'm not reading it out loud, but I'll tell you what it's about. Some interpret that the poem is about a young boy who descends into 8 levels of hell after killing his parents. Other people say that the poem is about a young boy who goes to war and ends up dying, never being able to see his family again. Either way, never ever read this poem out loud. The curse is so strong that some people who have even read the poem in their head have felt ill while doing so. So I refuse to even look at the poem, let alone recite it. So yeah. In at number 7, we have the Witch's Ball. There's a really weird gravesite in Myrtle Hill Cemetery in Medina County. This grave is marked with a giant sphere. Now, the story revolves around a woman that endured a lot of suffering throughout her life. As a result, she ended up taking the lives of her entire family. She would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for some town members who, started to realize that her family members just started to disappear. And they looked into it and they found out that she was killing them off. They believed that she was a witch and she was actually practicing magic in the woods. As a result, she was stoned to death and then buried under this giant sphere. Apparently, she was also buried standing upright to make it hard for her to escape. And the sphere was placed on top of her as a precaution to make sure that she never came back from the dead. She never could get out of the grave. However, it's said that her spirit still found a way to escape. In the wintertime, snow will not fall on the sphere or on the ground around it. On top of that, if you touch the sphere, it will always be warm even in the middle of winter when it's freezing cold outside. But then, in the summer, it will always be cold. People have also claimed to see a figure in the woods by the cemetery, and they think that it's her. Coming in at number 6, we have the human pillar. So the human pillars in Japan are pillars that are rumored to have humans trapped inside of them. Legend goes that if you put humans inside of pillars during the construction of a building, then it would bless this building and keep it held in place. And this is an actual ritual that some people would practice. It was a form of human sacrifice and people were buried alive. But now, legend goes that the buildings are haunted by the souls that are trapped inside the pillars. One famous legend surrounds Matsu Castle, where apparently a woman was sealed inside during the construction, and now her spirit haunts this castle. In fact, some people say that the castle just sometimes shakes randomly, and they think it's due to the woman that was trapped inside. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with Dog Boy. Legend has it that in Arkansas, in the town of Quitman, a dog man creature can be seen wandering the streets at night. And this dog man urban legend is actually based on a really sad and scary true story. So in 1954, a boy named Gerald Bettis was born. He would often capture pets from around the neighborhood or stray animals and conduct experiments on them or torture them. So that is why he was given the name Dogman, because he would capture dogs and then, kill them. Not only that, but it's said that he killed his father and he kept his mother locked away in the house. He was finally arrested for his crimes, and in 1980, he passed away in prison. So this Dogman boy was a real dude. In our 4th spot, we have the Himuro Mansion. This mansion is said to be one of the most haunted locations in all of Japan. In fact, the exact location of this mansion is unknown to the public. And that's a good thing. They don't want people going there. Legend goes that the owners of the house partook in something known as the strangling ritual. Basically, it's done to seal off evil or bad karma from within the earth. But the ritual didn't end up working, so the family thought that they dishonored the ritual and their family name. As a result, the man ended up killing himself and his family. Now it's said that their souls wander the mansion. They will try to complete this ritual with whoever enters this abandoned house. In fact, it said that 2 women were found dead on the property with rope burns on their wrists. Others who have entered the house reported seeing blood splashes on the wall, they saw apparitions of a spirit dressed in all white, and they got cut by an invisible blade. It's very scary, and apparently if you try and take a photo of one of the windows in the mansion, when the photo develops, you'll be able to see a girl's face in the photo. So don't go to this mansion unless you want to be sacrificed by these spirits. Okay? And at number 3, we have Australia's Fisher Ghost. Now, this is a really popular urban legend in Australia. In fact, the Festival of Fisher's Ghost has been celebrated since 1956. So it said that on June 17th of 1826, a man named Frederick Fisher, a farmer from the town, mysteriously disappeared without a trace. His friend George Worrell claimed that he had went back to England. He said that he even received a letter from him saying that he wasn't ever going to be returning to Australia. A couple of months later, a local man said that he saw the ghost of Mr. Fisher sitting on the rail of a nearby bridge. Apparently, the ghost pointed down to the creek below him, and then he just disappeared. After searching the creek, Fred's remains were found, and George was arrested for the murder. Now it's said if you return to that bridge at night, you'll be able to see Fisher's ghostly body sitting on the edge staring into the creek. As a result of this legend, that creek has actually been named Fisher's Ghost Creek. In our 2nd spot today, we have the Witch's Curse. So this urban legend takes place in Bucksport, Maine, and surrounds the tombstone of a man named Colonel Jonathan Buck. Legend goes that when Jonathan was alive, he sentenced a woman to death for practicing witchcraft. As a result, she was burned at the stake, but the only thing that survived was one of her legs. However, before the witch died, she put a curse on Jonathan. She said she put a curse on his final resting place to remind everyone of his dark past. So now, if you visit Jonathan Buck's tombstone, you'll see a legged shape mark on his tombstone. It's very creepy. People have tried to scrub that stain off and it just keeps reappearing. I mean, you can literally see it's a shape of a leg, and this is apparently the witch's leg. She just cursed this guy forever. So now whenever you go to the grave, you are reminded that he killed a woman. And in our number 1 spot today, we have the Ghost of Maules. So this last urban legend takes place in Switzerland. It's said that a mysterious figure, who they call Le Loyon, or the Ghost of Maules, stalks the Maules forest wearing only camouflage and a gas mask. Some people claim that they have seen this figure, but they're like, oh no, it's just an urban legend, until 2013. In 2013, a photo surfaced of what appears to be this masked figure. Then, months later, his mask and coat were found in the woods, alongside a written letter. The note suggested that he was wandering the forest wanting solitude, and then he took his own life because everyone thought he was just some creepy ghost. To this day, no one knows like if that was just a hoax or if like he was real or why he would just walk the forest dressed up like that. You know what I'm saying? Alright guys, that's all for today's video. If you like this video and you want to see more urban legend videos, then let me know in the comments below. And while you're down there, make sure you smash that like button, obviously subscribe to my channel. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan. Stick around for some bloopers, and I'll show you when I show you. Bye. This grave is marked with a giant sphere. So the human pillars in Japan are pillars that are rumored to... So in 1954, a boy named Gerald. But the ritual didn't end up working, so the family... I gotta plug this laptop in. There was even a silent film made in whatever.